Hello, and welcome to yet another episode of the International Care Collective podcast, the podcast that dives into the incredible journeys of people making the difference worldwide and especially here in the NHS. I'm Sam Elliott Aleknovich, as always, your host, a practice educator here at University Hospital Sussex. And today we're going to be turning our stethoscopes and our attention to yet another one of our wonderful healthcare professionals who have made that big leap from overseas to the UK and work within the NHS. As always, we're working in collaboration with the Stay and Thrive network in the NHS community of practice, and we're here to explore these stories and see how they link to the bundle of international recruitment that the NHS Stay and Thrive have. So, without further ado, we are luckily joined by Sara, one of our therapeutic radiographers here today. So welcome to the podcast, Sara. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's an absolute pleasure. Thank you for joining us. So if you could just tell us a little bit about yourself.
My name is Sara, and I'm therapeutic radiographer. I work here for about a year, and I came from Pakistan for 2 years ago. Firstly, I came directly to Leicester. Then I moved here in Brighton.
What made the move from Leicester to Brighton? What was the...
That was a big move. Firstly, I love beach. So first time I came here to see my friend. So I saw the Brighton. I was like, oh, I really love it. Beach. So I was like, I want to move here. Yeah. Really, I just manifested at that point. And I literally saw the hospital that's very close to the beach. It was like 1 minute, I was like, oh, that is so cool. So I was like, I want to be here.
You kind of sold yourself already, right?
Exactly. And so I was like, I want to be here. Then I just looked on the jobs and there was an opening of the jobs and I was like, just applied it. I was like, please. And then I got a job here and I was like so excited. I was like, yay.
Amazing. So what we've done, we've asked all of our guests that's come to speak on the podcast to bring something with them that means something to them and something that's important to them that, kind of reminds them of home. And, if you're feeling down or you're feeling low, something you kind of look to as your item. So what have you brought with us today?
I had a lot of thought
share
about
with
it.
us?
I had a lot of thought about it and I brought this. This is a cap. It's like a Pakistan on it.
Lovely.
So I love just collecting caps whenever I go to different countries. So that and also it reminds me of cricket. I love watching cricket growing up, like Pakistan cricket, and also my ideal is Imran Khan. So he's also as a cricketer and then later on become politician. So that's something that's very reminds me of that.
So cricket is the really big sport in Pakistan.
Yes, it's a very big sport in Pakistan.
It's the equivalent, I suppose, of football to here. Probably,
exactly. Yeah. It's the same like that.
Amazing. Thank you for that's amazing. How many caps have you got? That's the big question now.
I'm still collecting. It's like 4.
So you're better than me. I've been banned from buying any more shoes because I collect shoes. But yeah, no, mate, thank you so much for doing that and bringing that with you. What made you decide originally to move to the UK and work in the NHS? Was it the adventure, the opportunity, the curiosity? What was your driver?
It was a mix of everything.
Okay.
It was the curiosity too, to just move abroad.
Yeah.
You always, growing up, I always used to fantasize. My uncle used to live in London.
Okay.
So I used to hear about it. Like my uncle, every year he used to come to Pakistan. I was like, oh, London, I want to go there one time. And also my brother, he studied at Hertfordshire University.
Okay.
So he used to tell me a lot about London is a very cool place and UK. I was like, yeah, I want to go there. So just that developed the curiosity of going there.
Yeah.
And also I was like, I want to travel the world,
Yeah.
And if you're in Pakistan, if you're just working there, I think so the pay scale is not that much of high, to be honest. So if you just living there, you just can't expect I want to travel, I can save up money and travel. So that was very impossible thing.
Okay.
So it was first thing.
Kind of sold it to you that I can come and do
I was
this.
I was self-driven, I have to go there.
Yeah.
So that's why when I asked my senior, I think she came here as a spouse visa, but she knows about the HCPC. I just contacted with her. I was like, is there any way, our jobs, because I searched on the Google.
How'd you do it, basically?
Yeah. I was like, radiotherapy jobs in UK. So, that comes up there. There was a HCPC, but I didn't know much about that. Then she told me you can get the registration, but you have to work at least 2 years.
Right.
Then I was like, I just graduated at that point. I was
Yeah.
like, oh my God, I have to work 2 years to go to UK. Okay. And then I got a job in Shaukat Khanam there. I started working there for like 1 year. I was like, still 1 year left.
Yeah.
But somehow I just Googled it, the HCPC, and then, searched it. But
Yeah.
then I found out you don't actually need 2 years.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And
That's good to know, because that's something I didn't know. It's
exactly,
like, yeah.
because I was like, oh, I have to wait 2 years, but I searched it, but you don't need it. It's actually, if you have 1 year of experience too, you can still apply. So me and my friend there, we're just working in the Shaukat Khanam, we just start looking into it and just collecting the documents.
Yeah.
And we just start applying it. And it was like all the application is very, self-explanatory.
Yeah.
Like you just look into it, like, okay, that's what we need. We just step by step, we just guide all the like documents and everything. And then we applied it. And after like 1 month, they just gave me like, oh, you're registered to HCPC.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, that was the first step. But
Yeah.
there was a lot like further, you have to then apply jobs where to look for it.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Then I was like NHS jobs, like the portal. Then I start looking into it. There were like loads of jobs there. I was like, wow.
What do I go for? It's like pick and mix kind of thing.
Yes. It was like, then I just searched Therapeutic Radiographer. Then there
Yeah.
was loads of jobs like Band 5, Band 6. I used to apply a lot. But at that time, I was working too. So after the work, I used to go to library. There was a big library there. So I used to go there and just search for jobs and write my statements to it. Because I didn't know like what type of statement should I do. So I used to just edit it every time I do it.
Yeah.
So I did like 50 applications.
Oh, wow.
So I was literally, at that point, I was like 40 or something. I was like, oh, should I give up? It's not working. You know, what they want. Maybe I'm in Pakistan. That's why they're not taking me.
What am I missing? What am I not doing?
Exactly. You don't know that. So I used to ask the feedback of the applications. Sometimes they are very helpful. They just tell you like, oh, this is what we need or something. So I just try to edit it every time, the statement, adding some values or everything, I could do. So then I got an interview. My first interview was that. I was like, yay, I got the interview. But that didn't go well. I was like so heart shaken. I was like, oh my God, because the interview was very different. It's on the Teams and you do it and you don't expect what they're going to ask for the first time.
Yeah.
So it was like completely different questions they were asking and I was thinking it could be different. So it was, I did my best, but still I know that it wasn't gone well.
But I think we learn from those things, don't we? It's still an experience, even if it's not necessarily a negative one. It didn't go the way you wanted it, but
exactly. But at that time, I was like heartbroken. I was like, oh my God, I can't do it. I didn't do well.
Bless you.
Exactly. Then I started applications again.
Yeah.
Then I got my second interview, which was the research one, which wasn't my field, but they told me like, okay, if you don't have an experience, we'll still take it like as a trainee or something.
Yeah.
That went well, but they told me like, we have some others who had more experiences.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, that's fair. But that went well. I was like, I was getting my, confidence, like, yeah.
You're building.
Exactly. It's just to build up. Then afterwards, my third interview happened. It was in Leicester. So that went very well. Yeah. And I was normally waiting for the reply, the email, like, oh my God, what is it? Is it a rejection or what? Come on. Literally, I was working at that point. Then I just got an email. I just saw it was like, yes.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. I was just screamed. I was like, yeah, I got it. That all happened like within 4 months. Because I got the HCPC registration like in October or something and then start applying jobs. And in Feb, I think so, March, I've got the job.
Yeah.
Then afterwards, it takes like 2 or 3 months.
Yeah, because you have to do the visa. And
exactly, it's all the things. But I was like, yes, I got the job. I told my family and they were like super thrilled. Like finally, they're the biggest support of me. And because every time I was like, no, after the interview, just feel like, oh, I can't do it. But they're like, oh, you can do it. It's just been like 2 interviews.
Yeah. I suppose, like you say, it's taking those positives from the negative situations that you've had.
And after every interview, you have to just write down what were the questions and what can you answer them better. I think so. It's every time you learn it.
The practice makes perfect,
exactly.
as they say. No?
That's the practice.
Yeah. Can you explain to our listeners and our viewers what your pathway was? So, like you've already mentioned, like HCPC. So, how did that start for you? You've obviously mentioned the fact that you originally thought because you were told it was 2 years, but it wasn't. So, obviously, HCPC, which is the Healthcare Professions Council, the registration there. Then what was it like for you? What was the kind of process for you?
For the HCPC, I thought like I need the IELTS test too, but I think so if you are studied in English, like university, you can also get the English proficiency letter.
Yes.
And for the HCPC, you have to put like all your documents in, your degree and everything, your experience. Like the Shaukat Khanum, I was working, I put that experience in everything. You have to write that down. For the visa one, it was a big trouble. For the visa one, you have to do the ACTIS, which is just an, if you have English proficiency letter, it's just an ACTIS. You have to send it to the ACTIS. They just give you the certificate. Which you use for your visa.
Is it kind of like a validation?
Exactly, that's thing? Like a validation of ACTIS. There is like a site there, so I did that to apply that. Then there was a visa. That process was very smooth afterwards. That. Yeah.
And then obviously, so you've done your HCPC. Like you say, you've applied. You've done your 40 applications.
50 applications.
50, oh my goodness. So obviously, once that had happened, and once you'd secured that position on your third interview, what was that like in terms of you for preparation? Because obviously you didn't directly come to us here at University Hospital Sussex. You went, like you say, to work in Leicestershire. What was that like for you? What was your process there? So
of the preparation?
Yeah.
For the interview, I used to look on the YouTube simply. I was like YouTube, like NHS, like questions and interviews like that. And I used to ask my senior, I think, so she really helped me some of the questions too. But she didn't work in my job. She was like a physics dosimetrist.
Right.
But it was totally different. But she told me like it could be like the questions like that, but they were like completely different. I was like, they will ask me like, tell me about yourself, the introduction. And when they first didn't ask me their question, I was expecting that maybe. I was like, oh my God, I just got like completely.
I think that question, I think it's one of those ones where none of us do well at that question because we are useless at kind of selling ourselves, aren't we? We're not the best. I would say useless is probably the wrong word to use. We're not great at selling ourselves. So when we get asked that, even especially when you're not expecting it, it's almost like, ugh.
Yeah.
What do I say now?
Sometimes you just freeze like the moment like, oh, what to say,
Yeah.
So that happens. But every interview is like, you just learn it. If you done like one interview, you know the questions now.
Yeah.
So you know like how to do it. And especially, I think so what worked well with me is the values.
Okay.
Because I think so then I started to study it actually. If there's an interview, I just open the websites and I just completely study what's the vision, what's the values, what they're really looking into.
Yeah.
Like all the job description. I think so you've got like 50% of the answers in the job description.
Yeah.
Always. Because mostly they are always around it.
That's a good piece of advice, that, and
exactly.
a lot, even people from the UK will learn from that as well. I think it's obviously your job description is there for a reason. You're gonna your questions are clearly gonna be geared towards
exactly.
What
it's all around
there.
The values and vision, so you should know that completely. So I think so that worked very well.
Amazing. And so obviously you were waiting obviously to take it for your visa to come through.
Yeah, that takes forever. I used to and especially, I used to email. The source of communication was email. I used to email, and sometimes they didn't reply me well. I was like, oh my God, what's going on, all the thing, what's happening.
Yeah.
So that was the only thing. And the visa, that takes time. And afterwards, my first experience was not really good because of the BRP.
Oh yeah.
When I came here, my BRP was not here for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Because my joining date was 5, and I was here to the UK 2. Oh my God, I'm joining at 5. And I went there. I was like, no, you're not starting.
Yeah.
Because you
haven't got your BRP.
Yeah, because no one has told me about that. I have to wait for it. Then, but it took 2 weeks. And I went to the job, and I was I worked 2 days there unpaid because they said oh, we'll figure that out, but they said the HR they couldn't do it. They couldn't.
That's a shame.
Yeah.
But I mean, I know that the BRP is we're saying BRP for those that don't know what a BRP is. It's your British Residency Permit. That's the abbreviation for that. And you do have to pick them up from the post office.
Exactly. I went there every week. I used to go there every day because, when you just come here and you're not doing anything. I was in Leicester alone. I didn't know anybody there. Yeah. So I was like, what to do? I used to go there. So I just get started on my job. Yeah. So every time they said, no, it's not here. I used to come home where is it? What to do?
It's the waiting, isn't it? You're sitting there waiting. And especially like you say, if you don't know anyone either, it's not like you've got an immediate social network that you can go out with and do stuff.
That was I was
basically
missing.
Just sitting there waiting to start.
Yeah.
Because how do you build those social networks without actually starting working, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So that must have been quite difficult.
I waited 2 weeks. I was like, oh, come on, when is it going to happen?
Bless you. What would your advice be to people going through that? Would you say, make sure you're aware of these time limits?
Exactly.
And stuff,
make sure you know that what's going to happen and just be in touch with them, communicate through them. And
Keep in
like
touch.
just confidence, like you can do it. Okay, just don't panic like me. I did. Like what's gonna happen?
We all do. Don't you? You've landed here in the UK. It's your first day here. What was that like for you? And did anything like immediately surprise you?
Oh, it was all different. It was like a different country, different. I could just breathe. I was like, it's a different air. I don't know why, but I just felt that. My uncle really picked me up from the airport. I was just driving there. I was seeing everything was different.
Like
you said like there's a lot of
in.
traffic there, but I've seen the worst traffic in Pakistan. So for me, it was like, wow, that's really nice.
Yeah. I suppose you're driving from where you're the airport and you're just taking everything in.
Exactly.
As well,
I was just here. I was like, just getting everything. I was like, wow, I like it.
Yeah. Was there anything that surprised you necessarily? Like something that to jump out at you and go, this isn't what I was expecting, or this was everything that you expected? And
yeah,
more?
but for now it was fine. Then later on, just slowly, everything just surprised you. When you go to the grocery or something, for example, you do the self checkout. I never done that before. I was just going there. Okay, can I do this? How you do it? It's just the little things,
I love a self-checkout. It's the
I
only
love
time I
it.
get
I was
checked for ID anymore. It's amazing. It's just...
I was like, who invented this? I love this. I need that in Pakistan too. I just love to just swipe, just pay, and then go. It was so good.
Love it. So let's talk about your first day in your clinical area. So obviously that was where, like we say, that was in Leicestershire, not necessarily here. But what was your first day like in your clinical area, and how did that kind of differ from what you were familiar with at home?
Yeah, it was different from back home. Everything, how you communicate with the patients, the machine, everything was same. It's just the people, and their work system too.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you work like 2 people working and then 2 people just sitting out or just working in the computer, that was a bit different. I have to just learn it how it is.
Yeah.
But it was quite good. Like they introduced me with everyone. I was just like just soaking it in. Like okay, that's happened. Just taking it slow. It was good experience.
Amazing.
But I was like, felt like, okay, what to do, and you just don't get the confidence too much.
Was it a challenge kind of familiarizing yourself with the way things worked in the UK in terms of the difference, different pathways of working?
Yeah, for me, for the start, I felt like a bit like a difference, like a bit like a shock, like, okay, that's fine, that happens. Yeah. But the main thing is what they're expecting me to do in these steps, like, okay, the induction period. I wasn't clear, like, what they're expecting me to do. So I think so better communication that could help. Like, okay, this is it. Yeah. Because it's a lot for someone. But if you want them to like, oh, just click in, just bang on, just do this. I think so just take it slow because they need some time to just, okay, get in, like,
Familiarize
yourself with all the things because this is new. This setup is new.
Yeah.
Let alone the whole country is new.
Exactly. Yeah. There's so much more than just the job.
Exactly.
To take
it's
in.
like so much other things going on. So I think so if you take it slow, like, okay, then you just build up to these things and everything. Then
Did you have any support where you were in terms of any kind of pastoral support where you kind of guided or looked after for like things like opening a bank account, where to shop, where to live or anything like that?
No, that's the thing. When I come to Brighton and Zoe told me about you, I was like, is that even exist? I was very happy and I was like, oh, that's very good because you need that support. Someone to just show you around and be there like, okay, this is the steps and that was not there.
How important was that for you? Obviously, like I say, you've gone from one trust to another here. How important was that for you once obviously we reached out and kind of got in touch and stuff? How important was that for you?
That was really important. I felt like that was the best. That should be there when someone comes from abroad or something. They need that support.
Yeah.
And I saw your group and everyone you just introduce and you just get together. I think so that's the best. That's how you feel like connected and
It's like a community within the community.
It's like a community.
That's what we want to create here, and that's for me. It's the importance that, I can't tell you how to live your lives. You can help each other and support each other out.
That's so cool.
Rather than kind of, buddying people up with certain people. I want you guys to organically develop these friendships and these relationships with people. Yes. And it's been amazing to see from my perspective. Mm-hmm. Can you explain to our listeners and our viewers what a therapeutic radiographer is? And the only reason why I asked it is because as a nurse myself and looking after all of our allied health professions, I heard the word radiographer and I didn't realise there was a massive difference between a diagnostic radiographer and a therapeutic radiographer. So can you briefly explain what your role is basically?
Yeah, my role is the therapeutic radiographer one is like the pre-treatment and the treatment one. We used to in which we treat the patients.
Yep.
And then there's a pre-treatment in which we do the CT planning scan in which just patient comes here for us. We just have a chat with them, and we do the CT scan, which is just for the planning scan, because they're going to have radiotherapy treatment. So we do the scan, and then we send it to the doctors. Doctor will plan on it, and afterwards we do first check, second checks, like everything is correct, beam is all right, everything is done. Then it will go to the treatment. Then there's a treatment radiographers, and then they will treat the patient. Patient will come there first day, they have a chat, and then they will just lie down on the couch and just set you up well and do the shifts, and then they do the treatment. So that's the treatment we do.
Yeah, and it's primarily in cancer services, isn't it?
Yeah, the cancer, yes.
I always ask that because I found it really interesting learning about all these different professions. So, I will say, I don't want our listeners to just think radiographer, oh, that's one thing. It's not. There's so much variety within the different professions as well. Now we move on to what I call, it's the fun part for me, the nerve-wracking part for you guys here. We're going to go on to the board of joy, which is collectively right behind you there. So what we're going to ask you to do, you can see on the board, there's these different cards there. There's different questions on each of these cards. I need you to pick 4 of those cards at completely random. And then you're going to pass them to me, and they are going to form your next questions that we are going to be asking you. Do you feel there is a strong international healthcare community within the UK?
I think so. Here in Brighton, I feel like there is a big community of international recruits.
Yeah.
I can't say anything about internationally, but here UK, I think so.
Yeah. So obviously we've got the Stay and Thrive community of practice and stuff, and that's obviously internationally led by different professions as well. So there is things out there, but obviously, how do you feel the community is here for international staff, regardless of profession? So obviously you've said my role being quite pivotal. How do you feel that community is here?
It's great, I think so. It's perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you feel would be better, or we could do better, do you reckon? There's no wrong answer here.
Yeah, no, I think we're doing great.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'll take that. I will take that.
You're perfect.
I'm not going to say no to the perfection.
We're getting there.
I like this one as well. Well done. Good pick. Good picks. How does teamwork and interprofessional collaboration in the NHS compare to your previous experience at home?
I think so. The teamwork here is much more better and organized than it was in Pakistan.
Yeah.
That I can say that.
What's the differences? So in terms of, do you work better as a team here, do you feel? The only reason I asked, we had a very similar question on one of our previous episodes where one of our speakers said it was a very hierarchical system where if a doctor came in, you would literally do as doctor says.
Yeah.
So was it similar?
It was like that. And also the staffing. You said you don't have enough staff here, but I know. But in Pakistan, we had the staffing issue too.
Yeah.
And I think so it was you have to work a lot. Sometimes you have to skip lunches. And because it's not well organized there.
Yeah. Do you feel more valued here as a person and a profession here than you did at home?
Yes, definitely. Because I think so it's more well recognized here than in Pakistan. If you ask the random person or anyone about the radiographer, they don't know about it.
Yeah.
So exactly, because there is no community you have HCPC, you have it here. It's not there. It's not well counseled there, and it's not well recognized here and well paid even though. So that's major difference.
Yeah. And do you feel that multi-professional working is key to that? Rather than, we say here in the UK, it is a multi-professional team approach, so that, you will have doctors coming up to you and asking you what your thoughts are on a patient. Was that a bit of a reality check for you?
Yeah, exactly. Doctors coming around randomly and then ask anything, and you don't feel you have to be, anything. There is a difference in, obviously you told me about hierarchy. Yeah. So that's so much, that was a big check. I was oh yeah, that's cool, that's nice.
It's a nice feeling. Do you feel involved in the care of
you
your
feel like you're
patients?
involved, you're being valued again.
Yeah.
So that feels nice.
What has been your experiences with patient interactions? How were they for you? Obviously, when you first came here, but what experiences have you had?
Oh, that's cool. What happened here when I first came here? When you put your name, you put the surname first.
Yeah.
And then the second. I didn't know that because we didn't used to do that.
Yeah.
And I went outside and just called the patient name with the surname loudly. And everyone just looking at me. He was like, that's my surname. And I was like, I'm so sorry.
People still do that to me nowadays.
Exactly. But they were very kind. Just tell me that's what I was like, okay, that's fine. Sorry.
Yeah.
So, but my interaction was very all right. I used to chat with patients, have gossips. And so.
Yeah. How is it with accents and stuff? Because obviously there's a lot of different accents wherever you are.
Yes.
You know, there's a lot of different cultures and communities, and you'll have all these accents. Because I think in your head you think, and I'm sure it's the same in Pakistan. Different regions will have different accents as well, right?
Yeah.
So how was that for you to kind of listen almost, I suppose, and translate, and then?
No, I think so. I didn't have so much problems regarding of that because I used to watch a lot of seasons. I used to listen all the accents. So that was the key. That was the key when I first came in. I was like, I didn't feel like, oh my God.
Is that your good piece of advice then?
That's a really good piece of advice. You have to watch like seasons and you have to listen. When you listen English, you just become like more fluent in English too. And also you can just pick up more quickly.
What was your programs of choice?
That's a random Breaking Bad or anything like Netflix.
Yeah.
Used to watch
that was your go-to Netflix.
Yes.
We all love a bit of Netflix, don't we? Let's be honest. How do you feel about the level of training and professional development opportunities in the NHS for people from overseas?
Oh, I think so. That's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like the career progression and the training. These are a lot because when you come here, you do the e-learning. For example, there's a lot of courses there, and then independently you can do more of the courses if you want to do it.
Yeah.
And I think there's more chance of growing your profession here.
Yeah.
Like in NHS, that's what I love about it.
And have you done any kind of professional development yet? Have you done any courses in terms of
Yes, I have done the preceptor one when I came here.
How was that?
Yeah, it was great. I've done all the like advanced trainings or something, and I'm a preceptor.
Yeah, nice.
So, yes.
Well done. We will have our preceptorship team coming to do an episode soon as well, because I want people to understand what preceptorship is. But from your perspective as a learner, how important was that for you as a staff member from overseas?
I think so. That's great because you need someone to be like just listen to you and this just guide you like these are the steps or anything. You can just ask them anything. I think so. That's very good support for them.
Yeah.
If someone comes from international or something, you just can tell them. You can just share your experience. Like you can have that and you can feel that and you can just help them in any case. I think so. That was good.
Is there any barriers that you feel personally going up the career ladder? Is there anything that you feel is stopping you?
Nothing can stop you. Only you can stop yourself if you don't want to.
Good answer. Good answer. That's what we want to hear. The only reason we ask is because we know that and it will vary from wherever anyone's from. And to be fair, probably a lot of people here in the UK as well, there is that self-doubt.
Yes,
I suppose. And I suppose from what you're familiar with culturally at home as well, because obviously, you adapt as you live here longer.
Exactly.
And, that will change into your perception of whether you should or could apply for a more senior role than what you're currently doing. So I'm loving the fact that, you are the only person that can stop you.
Exactly.
It's so true.
Yeah.
It's not about where you're from.
Exactly.
It's about how you come across in an interview and how well you are suited to that job, right?
Yeah, you're right.
So thank you for that amazingly lovely answer. If you knew then what you know now about the entire process of joining from home to the NHS, what is the best piece of advice you could give someone considering doing the same journey as yourself?
It's just don't lose your confidence. Be confident and don't panic. Again, you will panic, but just enjoy the process.
Yeah.
You're going to go through this, but don't just ruin the smallest moments by worrying too much.
Yeah.
So just go easy on yourself and never lose your confidence and be persistent and manifest it. You can do it.
I think what you said earlier, I think is quite key, is learn from those
mistakes.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't even call them mistakes because I think, you said, I think we've all had interviews where we weren't successful. It's taking the positives from those, unfortunate circumstances and situations, right?
Yeah.
And like I say, how many jobs? You're going to have to say it again because I'm still in shock that you said 50
applications. Yes.
It's amazing. So, it does take time and I think you will find the right fit for you at the right time. It doesn't necessarily have to be the first one. Could be the 10th one. You never know. But
you never know.
Yeah. Just don't give up on it, I think
Just
would be a key.
Yes.
When do you feel it's right for someone to stop being referred to as international?
Personally, I don't feel wrong of someone calling me international because that's who you are. You cannot change that.
Yeah. So
if someone calls me international and I know where I came from, so it just reminds me where I come from. So it's not a thing to be wrong about it. Yeah. I'm proud of it, where I come from. That's why I'm here. So
Do you know what? Perfect answer. And then the reason I'm asking this is that there's been a lot of, talk about, whether that title should be lost. And for me, I'm not the right person to say that.
Yeah.
You guys here that we're talking to and chatting to here on the Care Collective podcast is you're the people that should be able to tell us when that is. And it's about taking ownership of that title and,
exactly.
having that, be proud of it.
Yeah, be proud of it by
not kind of
like
don't be shy of it. I think
exactly.
Don't have it as a barrier. Have it as a positive.
Don't think of it as a bad thing. You just think of it as a positive thing. Someone just admiring you. You come from internationally. That's a big journey.
Indeed.
Proud of it.
Huge journey.
Yeah.
And own it, isn't it? So,
own it.
Amazing. Thank you ever so much. And that's a wrap. That was the final question.
Thank you.
Thank you ever so much. Thank you to our wonderful guest, Sara, for joining us today. It's been absolutely amazing talking to you. We really, really appreciate it. And if you guys at home have enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, tell a friend, share the love, share the podcast, share it with your friends, your family, anyone that you think might be interested in just listening to these journeys. Doesn't have to be a healthcare professional, could be anyone. It's all about learning about each other, and that's what we're here for. And keep celebrating the incredible people like Sara who make our world and the NHS a healthier, better place. And just a final word from me, as always, remember we are all humans before our professions. So if you're going to be anything, be human and be kind. Until next time, see you soon.